Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. So I was looking through the latest sources on CI/CD pipelines and repository management, and honestly, we're looking at a massive paradigm shift right now. For years, managing a code base at scale has basically meant wrestling with rigid automation and just an endless backlog of maintenance tasks. But today, let's explore how the industry is shifting away from that manual grind of deterministic scripts and moving toward the fascinating, intent-driven world of continuous AI.
Finding the actual error in 500 lines of output takes time you don't have. Okay, if you've ever spent hours debugging a failed GitHub Actions workflow during an active incident, maybe while your coffee gets completely cold and your product manager is hovering over your desk asking for an ETA, you absolutely feel the visceral pain of this statement. You get a red X, you click through multiple pages, you scroll past all that runner setup noise and dependency installation output, and eventually, finally, you land on the real error. And then, well, you still have to figure out what it means and what to do about it. It's just an exhausting loop.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, the CI/CD maintenance grind.
To really understand this maintenance grind, we have to look at traditional CI/CD pipelines. Now, don't get me wrong, they're incredibly powerful, but they're fundamentally deterministic. They execute exactly what you tell them, step by step, without actually reasoning about the context. And because of that lack of context, all these unglamorous repository tasks just constantly fall through the cracks. New issues sit there unlabeled for days. Documentation ends up describing refactored features from like 3 sprints ago. CI failures get a quick acknowledgement in Slack, sure, but they never get properly root-caused. And test coverage, it quietly erodes. Developers absolutely dread these chores because they require contextual understanding, not just blind script execution.
Moving on to Section 2, AI debugging to the rescue.
So we're moving out of that purely deterministic past and looking at how developers are actually hacking this maintenance problem right now using reactive AI solutions. Because honestly, developers are just tired of scrolling through thousands of logs. Let's look at a local AI log parsing flow, for instance. First, it uses the GitHub REST API to fetch those field workflow runs. Second, a Python log parser extracts the relevant error sections, totally skipping all the runner diagnostic noise and just capturing the actual context around the error. Third, it sends that extracted text along with the workflow YAML to a local LLM like Alama. In about 15 seconds, with literally zero cloud costs, the AI identifies the root cause, suggests exact YAML changes, and, this is the crazy part, can even distinguish between a flaky test like a network timeout and a real assertion bug based purely on error patterns.
But hey, you don't even have to build this yourself. GitHub Copilot is actually tackling this natively now. When a workflow fails, you can simply open the failed run and click the new Explain Error button. And Copilot doesn't just look at the error message, it analyzes the entire context of your workflow. We're talking the steps that ran before the failure, your repository structure, common patterns, the whole shebang. In our example here, it realizes you're missing a build script and suggests the exact npm run build fix to apply. Just like that, you get targeted advice with the click of a button.
Furthermore, developers are plugging in AI Marketplace Actions or running the Copilot CLI programmatically to automate very specific manual coding workflows. You can actually add actions that leverage the OpenAI Agents framework or GitHub Copilot to automatically analyze pull requests and provide code quality feedback. You can set up issue analyzers to categorize and prioritize bugs, or, even use an action to automatically generate and publish AI-powered GitHub release titles and notes based on your commit history. It's really all about these point solutions doing the heavy lifting for us.
Which brings us to Section 3, securing automated AI workflows.
Now, before we just hand over the keys to our repository to an AI, we have to address the elephant in the room, right? How do we maintain security? If we're automating our repositories with AI that reads our logs, our code base, and our history, ensuring sensitive data isn't exposed is absolutely crucial. GitHub protects repositories using features like secret scanning and validity checks. Secret scanning automatically looks through your entire Git history, and I mean issues, pull requests, wikis, all of it, for hard-coded credentials like API keys before they can be exploited or leaked to an AI tool. But it goes a step further with validity checks. It can actually automatically contact the issuing service to verify if the detected secret is still active. That helps you prioritize remediation immediately. Partner secrets are even reported directly to the provider for automatic revocation.
All right, let's look at the future. Section 4, enter continuous AI agents. Now that we've got the security foundation down, we can move past those reactive point solutions and really embrace agentic workflows. Now you might be wondering, why not just call an AI directly from a standard GitHub Actions YAML? Well, running AI directly in YAML means you have unrestricted permissions. Basically, whatever the workflow has, the AI has. It completely relies on DIY best practices and manual logging. On the other hand, GitHub's new agentic workflows are designed entirely around the principle of least privilege. They enforce explicit minimal permissions declared right in the front matter. They require mandatory sandboxed execution in isolated containers, and the AI can only call explicitly restricted safe outputs or operations. So yeah, they can open pull requests, but they don't just auto-merge them. You get that intelligent automation, but with enterprise-grade safety controls.
GitHub calls this overall vision continuous AI. Think about it. Just like continuous integration automated our build verification, continuous AI automates the subjective, judgment-heavy tasks across 6 core categories. We've got continuous triage for intelligent issue routing, continuous documentation that actually stays synced with code changes, continuous code simplification to spot refactoring opportunities, continuous test improvement for proactive test generation, continuous quality hygiene for automated CI failure investigation, and finally, continuous reporting for your weekly repository health insights. It's like a giant puzzle coming together.
And listen, this isn't just hypothetical theory. 96%. To put that into perspective, that number spotlights the incredible success of GitHub's own internal daily documentation updater agent. Running in production, this agent automatically maintained documentation alongside code changes and achieved a massive 96% merge rate. That's 57 out of 59 pull requests successfully reviewed and merged by a human. These are real, tangible results, proving for sure that AI agents can handle context-heavy repository maintenance.
Okay, wrapping things up with Section 5, the intent-driven future.
So, what does this all mean for the daily life of a developer moving forward? Well, it means we're moving to an intent-driven paradigm. AI is not replacing developers. Actually, scratch that. It's more like it's shifting us away from writing imperative YAML scripts and doing manual chores, and moving us toward intent-driven natural language. We, the humans, will define the what, the outcomes, the quality standards, those big overarching architectural principles. The AI agents, they'll handle the how, the actual mechanical code changes, writing the tests, updating the docs. And finally, humans will sit at the top to provide the judgment, reviewing the code, making those tough architectural decisions, and prioritizing features. It literally frees engineers up to the high-leverage, creative work we actually want to be doing.
Look, repository maintenance is unglamorous, but it dictates whether your codebase thrives or descends into total chaos. Continuous AI is here to take over that mechanical grind safely and securely. So I'm going to leave you with a provocative thought to ponder today. When AI handles the how of maintaining and building your repository, what will you build with the what? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and I'll see you next time.